Michigan Supreme Court recently announced a new initiative, which is called Justice for All, that hopes to make it easier for people to handle their own civil claims. Here to explain the importance of this program to everyday people, attorney Tom Sinas of Sinas Law Firm. And Tom, let's talk about how civil cases differ from criminal cases and why this type of initiative is so important.
Well, thanks, Derek. That's a great place to start, because whether you're a lawyer or have worked in a law office or have just watched TV, you've heard the expression, you have the right to a lawyer. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be provided to you. And that is a constitutional right. But, and here's the big but, it applies only in criminal cases. The United States Constitution or the state constitution does not provide people a right to access a lawyer in a civil case. And yet so many aspects of life are where people may find themselves involved in a civil lawsuit. It could be a family law issue. It could be a housing related issue. It could be a dispute over a bill. These are all claims that fall within the civil justice system where people do not have a right to a lawyer. And so what happens to so many people, thousands and thousands of people every year, is that they end up having to represent themselves because they can't afford to hire a lawyer and pay that lawyer by the hour to work on their case. And what the Michigan Supreme Court is recognizing here is that this is a very difficult system for people to try to navigate on their own. And so the endeavor here from this commission is to try to find a way to make it easier for people who are representing themselves to navigate the complexity of the court system, to make court forms simpler, to make the general culture of the court system more accessible so that it doesn't just feel like something that only lawyers and judges can understand.
Yeah. What kind of resources are out there to help people with these civil cases if they can't hire a lawyer?
Well, there's a number. One thing I would note is that the court rules recently changed, and it's permitting lawyers to do what's called limited scope representation. That's just a fancy word for saying that if somebody comes to a lawyer, the lawyer can say, look, I can't take on your whole case, but I can help you with this one project. And I can be paid maybe just a small amount for this one project. And after that, you're on your own. And this had been a problem before because the old rule generally was for the lawyer, if you take on one part of the case, you take on the whole case. Outside of that, we are very lucky in this community to have an organization called the Legal Assistance Center, which is housed in the courthouse in downtown Grand Rapids. And this is a place devoted to helping people navigate the system of representing themselves. And it's conveniently located in the courthouse, and they have a group of wonderfully trained volunteers to help people navigate that process. So there are these type of legal self-help centers in other parts of the state as well. And hopefully what we'll see here coming out of the announcement from the Michigan Supreme Court is a way to make these tools more widely accessible to people so that they aren't so overwhelmed should they end up in a situation where they have to represent themselves in a civil case.
Yeah, Legal Assistance Center. I recall you and I did a story on that years ago. It is a great resource indeed that a lot of people simply don't know about. Tom, where do people track you down? They have more questions.
They can find us online at www.sinusdramus.com. Phone number 616-301-3333, or shoot us an email at info@sinusdramus.com. But you're right, Derek, the Legal Assistance Center is a wonderful resource. So if you're in this situation where you need to represent yourself, I recommend going there.
Great help. It can be scary to navigate. Great stuff to know. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Derek.